Hi everybody, Matt with Bam Ranch. So I was going through some of the different kits that I have, as far as preparedness goes, and there's several different kits. There's the bug out kit and the blackout kit and all these. They don't, I guess, really have any official name, but anyway, here's 5 of them that I thought I'd float by you, and it'd probably be a good idea to try and put something like this together. There's always room for improvement, and just because I mentioned these 5 doesn't mean that that's the only 5, but it's a good place to start. And if nothing else, maybe this is a reminder to kind of go through and look and see what all you've got. Man, these mosquitoes are freaking pterodactyls. Well, anyway, do me a favor, hit the like button and the subscribe and the little bell and all of the stuff that the people on YouTube ask you to do. It actually really does help out a lot. And with that, let's get started. So the first one is, the obvious one. These aren't going to be in really any particular order. Move this camera up just a little bit. There we go. But that's going to be the bug out kit. And notice the wording that I had on that. I didn't say bug out bag. I said bug out kit. And your bug out kit is determined by where you're going to be going, because we got to have a place to go. And don't get locked into the, world has to end for me to bug out. A lot of the times, and I've discussed it, on videos before, a lot of times bugging out just means you're going to a hotel room for the weekend, or you're going to go stay with family. We've done that before, and I think most of us have. So where you're going determines your plan. Your plan determines your kit, which is everything that you would need to go to wherever you're going, because all that stuff is going in the truck. And it's to get rid of this whole we're going to walk there on foot, because that's ridiculous. I'm not walking anywhere if I can just take the truck. And if I got enough time, I'm loading up a freaking 26-foot, box trailer with everything. Can't really do that, but we do have a couple little totes that we know that, hey, we throw these in the truck. We're taking both vehicles. So we're taking my wife's car. This stuff goes in the car to get us there. And then if all of that fails, then we go to the bug out bag. And think of the bug out bag as this, a 72-hour overnight bag. Put the same stuff in that bag that you would take with you if you were having your house recarpeted and painted at the same time, and you just couldn't stay there for a few days. And that's the best way to look at it. The survival stuff, the tactical stuff, yeah, that's important, but it's not really the main purpose of it. You want some food and some water, as well as the stuff it takes to get you from point A to point B. We're not setting up camps, we're making miles, boom, get there fast and efficient. So take a look at the logistics of what it's going to take to do that. Moving on from that, let's go with the blackout kit. The blackout kit most commonly is, electrical outages, but anything can just go offline. Any of the services that we get can go offline for a while. We can have a communications blackout, an internet blackout, electricity, yeah, and on. You get the point. Let's focus here primarily on electricity because that's the most common. So with the blackout kit that we have, I keep most of it in a 5-gallon bucket in our spare bedroom. We call it the dog's room because that's where our dog's kennels are. And everybody knows what's in that. And it's things like batteries, phone chargers, cables, lanterns. Everybody loves flashlights. I love flashlights too. But as far as doing life, lanterns, man, that's where it's at. The LED rechargeable lithium powered ones that's the bee's knees right there. Can y'all hear that bird? That's the strangest sounding bird I think I've ever heard. So charging cords and everything and whatnot to go with that stuff. Generator. If you have a generator, keep a light with the generator. Wherever you store the generator, there needs to be a light. Along with that, there needs to be a dedicated cord, extension cord, to go with the damn generator. And you might also consider storing with that a way to secure that generator. I've heard stories, an extended power outage through a hurricane or whatever, and somebody was sleeping and they could hear the generator going, and they woke up. It was really hot in the house and they couldn't figure out why. They could hear it running, and turns out some jackass went and started a lawnmower, pushed it up there, unplugged the generator, and left the mower there so that nobody would suspect anything. They could still hear it running. So some way to secure that generator and keep it from being stolen would probably be a good idea. Inverters, like just buy a $50 inverter to go on your car, and some extension cords, 400 watts on up to however much you want to spend. At least, it'd be kind of cool to keep your fridge and freezer from, thawing all your food and ruining all your groceries. One time of your freezer not thawing out will pay for a generator. That generator is paid for itself that first time you have to use it. We like to hang a light on the doorway, next to the door of all of the main use rooms. The best thing I have to tell you about that is go on Amazon or whatever, and they sell those. It's like a 10-pack or a 12-pack of lights for under $20. They're cheap. They're not that great, but they serve the purpose really well. And that's what we hang, just there on the doorway and anywhere that we think might be needed. If you got small kids, give them one. Yeah, they're going to run the batteries down and nothing flat, and that's okay. Let them have fun with it. You've got extra batteries in that Blackout, bucket. For me, I use a bucket. There's extra batteries in there for a reason. So, let them have fun with it. As an example, we had a power outage several years ago. It wasn't any big deal. It just power went out. It was midsummer on a Saturday night, absolutely beautiful weather. And I've got one of those big lights, like what they put in like shop buildings, for the overhead lighting. And I've got it rigged up so I can use an extension cord with it. I got a flagpole, or at the time we had a flagpole in the yard, and I plugged that thing into an inverter, into the truck, ran an extension cord, hoisted that thing on up the flagpole, and we were the only light on for like 10 miles. And we had board games, and it was beautiful outside. So everybody was out walking around, and our yard kind of became the hangout for the night. We really had a good time. We enjoyed it, so that's important. Make it fun, not scary. We really had a good time that night. My dumbass completely left out one of the most important kits that I even had written down and didn't even mention, and that is the medical kit. And yes, we're talking about like trauma kits and stuff like that. I would love to go into detail on what exactly you need to get for that trauma kit, but I'm not the best person to do that. I would look at the Bear Independent or the Refuge Medical YouTube channels. That's actually where I would probably suggest that you buy a kit, is from Refuge. I think they're the best ones in the world, and you're not going to put one together yourself with those components and save any money. So your trauma kit, and then your normal stuff, like your Dr. Mom type stuff, your ibuprofen, your tummy meds, your Band-Aids, and just if you've got children, the children's Tylenol. You definitely need some adult Tylenol and Excedrin, because headaches are the shits. I don't want you to be in the shits. So yeah, look at that. And maybe like some sort of dental type thing, the temporary fillings, things like that. Anyway, I'll go back to the rest of the video from wherever I decide to insert this. But yeah, don't forget about your medical kit. It's kind of important to not die. Other kit, how about a repair kit? I'm not going to go into too much detail on this, but a good, solid mechanics repair kit, sockets, wrenches, screwdrivers, pliers, that kind of stuff. The stuff you'd use to work on your car, you know, uh, a, a fluke, I say fluke, but like a DVOM, something to test circuits, a few basic electrical things. That would be part of your mechanical kit. We can go into that deeper in the future sometime if you want, but for brevity, I'm just going to leave it like that. Then a carpentry tools. You need a carpentry kit. Stuff for building stuff, right? To, make repairs on fences and, boards and drywall and, repairing your house type thing. And the third thing would be a household repair kit. And I don't mean like the handyman type, but sewing kit and things of that nature. Just the little, things that you have, I can't think of another one at the moment, but you understand what I'm saying, just a basic put it back together kit for, light duty purposes. How about the defense kit? This is the one that everybody likes to spend money on. It gets all the clicks and everybody ignores everything else so they can go buy a new gun and call themselves prepared. That's cool, But not just, when we think of our defense kit, let's not just focus on the fighting, and protecting yourself from intruders and, the paratroopers and whatnot. But what are some other things we would have to defend against? Fire, extreme cold and extreme heat. We would probably be well served to defend ourselves from those things, as well as, your stereotypical, fighting rifle type stuff, which, don't get me wrong, I love that stuff. If you've been on my channel for any amount of time, you already know that. So look into, your basic firearms, locks on the doors, I would consider part of this kit. Cameras, your neighbors. That's a pretty often overlooked aspect of this, but knowing your neighbors and being on good talking terms with your neighbors and having a relationship where if there's something screwy going on, they call me up. They're like, hey, Matt, there's screwiness going on over there. You might get there, might check it out. There might be some hood rat shit going on. Hey, yeah, cool. Thanks for letting me know. So I would kind of lump all of that stuff into a defense kit. As far as the weather stuff, part of defending is, fixing something that got jacked up, and tarps, plywood, tape, bucket of nails, part of that could maybe be considered, a repair kit, but hailstorm knocks out all your windows, or, your roof gets a bunch of, just lose a bunch of shingles on your roof. Have some way to kind of somewhat take care of that, at least temporarily, until you can get somebody a little bit more professional, or whenever you just have more time to mess with it, to actually take care of it properly. But anyway, those are the 5, sort of kits that I think are pretty essential, and it's, it doesn't take a whole lot to put them together, and I think you'd be well served by looking into that. So let me know what you think. What are some things that you might add to it? And until next time, hey, you guys be safe.